Alright, so May 22nd update. It's been a while. The main thing that we changed here was the mid area, basically the mid area and the underground and that the B site. So the main thing is going on here in terms of the philosophy of this map is we're trying to tighten up the actual play areas. There used to be really long sight lines from this mid connector going down to mid, and it's just kind of this wide open, awkward space, which I didn't really want. It didn't feel right to me. So you notice that one of the things we added was this big block here, which blocks vision from this CT spawn area going into the B restaurant or whatever you call that. So the B building used to, if this wasn't here, I could see people going all the way from, out here running in here, and you'd be visible by these, an opera up here. And this is, I thought it was a little too powerful. And the fact that this guy can come here and just duck and back off. This position was just a little too powerful overall, especially with the fast rotate. Look, he gets to A so damn quickly, etc. So we get onto mid here, and I guess we'll just give a quick overview. You come down CT spawn, and usually you're going to cross B. The B players are almost expected across the board to go through vent, because that just leads directly to the bomb site up there. One thing is I moved this vent in a little closer. It's just a little tighter. It used to be maybe around here, and just took another half second or so off the rotate times. So you come in here, and I also moved in this wall. Just moved it in a bit closer to me. It used to be a little farther, and I thought that was a little awkward, like the long distance. Even in B site it does too. The distance from coming out of tunnels to the actual bomb site is, it's actually just about around here. So that's like B tunnels, and I'm sitting on site here, and there's like an Xbox here. So I felt like, you just add a little room here, this some cover here, and there's this little emo spot here on B site, which I guess you could hide from that guy. And it also lets you boost up here, self-boost up here, and get a better angle if you know how to jump, which I don't. There you go. So if you're good at crouch jumping, you can actually get up here, and this is a pretty strong spot. But again, the problem is, people try to retake or take, you're obviously gonna smoke it off, gonna molly it off, and you have nowhere to go. Where you have to jump down and be totally exposed. And of course, you still have this to look down. Anyway, so that's the look at B. This is the same B tunnels. I haven't really touched it too much. I just made it a little curved instead of straight down. Anyway, so back to mid. So mid now looks all weird and screwed up relative to what we had before, and that's because what it used to be was this kind of, jump up here, it used to be this big circle, like an arena, like a gladiator arena, and I didn't really think that made a lot of sense. It's probably not a lot of fun to play. It's a little uninspired. So what I did was, the main reason I changed it was this kind of mid area. If you remember, there was a drop down zone where the CTs could come out of spawn, go here, and you had the option of going straight to post up in Z, or you could run a little further and go into like this drop down area and go into underground. I didn't really think that made a lot of sense. It was a little awkward to kind of make you go past and then like jump through these hoops. So now the mid is a lot closer. So it's almost like in Cash where you can have a mid battle really early. So like this is kind of that mid choke point. And I used to have this opened up a bit so that you could actually pick with an op. Whoa. You can actually pick, what the fuck? You can actually pick through this little crack, CTs that are jumping down, or you can get a count of how many CTs might be. That is still to be determined. I ended up closing it off simply because I felt that the CTs running up to connector here, as they pass by like here, like from here to here, they would get spotted or maybe even see enemies. And it's just kind of an awkward, like a little too close for comfort kind of thing. So I closed that off a bit, so you can't see anybody unless you commit to peeking this thing. So I expect, this is where this is going to be a point of contention for sure, because you spill out here, and that's the underground. That's the connector that lets you go to A. I tightened up a lot of this mid. I mean, I moved all this stuff from here, moved it in a bit. This wall used to be like out here, and so like this battle here, it's just a little too long distance for my taste. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of huge. Like, you need an op for a long range, and then you need a rifle for everything else. So I feel like this is still rifleable range. Anyway, so this door now, again, it still feels like too long of a walk. I may have to tighten it up just a bit horizontally. Maybe not, because I don't want to make the map too small. But the idea is you come out of this underground area. I haven't really touched this much. This underground goes to what we call Diamond Room. which is this thing right here, which is where the T's can group up and, you know, from spawn, they can go here to go B, right? They can go B, see, B's that way. You can go through those B tunnels, or you can decide to go underground and try to take mid control. So you come up here, come out as a T, come out door, and now you get some control. So, you know, some peeking into mid. Hey, is your mid clear? Is your close mid clear? Yes, you know, what's going on? You can actually like op pick into, I suppose, that lower B area. This CT spawn area, and then this is, well, upper CT. And then this is the connector. So this is kind of your classic like mid to everything, right? So this mid area, you can go mid to A through here. Like, well, not really. This is like mid. Yeah, this is through mid. This is like sneaking, backstabbing them and going to A. You can go mid to CT spawn and catch rotators by sitting up on the stairwell here, or even just like sitting down here, waiting for the guys to jump off. And then you have your mid to B, right? Which you don't need that door for. You can just come out mid here and go B like that, right? And you can even, if you're really ballsy and get your kills, you can actually sneak through the vents. You know, smoke. Well, anyway. So that's this. The idea behind this door is it opens outward this way. So if you're sitting in connector, I noticed that Z was like a little too strong before, because you could just sit on this side and see the entire map. And you kind of can do that now if you just post up here. You can see here, you can see here, you can see here. But you know, this pillar here prevents you from actually seeing what if anyone comes out. You can hear them obviously if they're running, but someone could sneak out of here and you don't really know. And if your B guys are in there, you're the mid player, and you have two guys A. This guy is like, look, you're responsible for so much of the map, you know. So this guy couldn't come out. You can't really see anything. You have to wait till he's all the way out here. And this area is, you know, intentionally very easily smoked off. I'm really bad with smokes, you can see, but you know, anyway, you get the idea. So this kind of mid choke point. You know, I didn't do all the timings yet, but you know, if you come out of T spawn and you say, hey, okay, I'm gonna rush, we're gonna, you know, try to see what they're doing mid. You probably throw some flashes over, and then you know, you check that right away, you check that right away, etc. I don't think the TTs can get like here and just like, you know, post up like that. It's almost like Fountain on Overpass, I suppose. So this is the new mid. Just again an overview. So you come out this mid area. You know, from basically, I suppose mid would technically be here to, you know, here, going into Z. So this kind of this big circle here, and it's, you know, you can fight over it and add some cover and stuff, and that'll allow you to decide which site you want to commit to. And now the problem is that with B, this is the one thing that now I'm trying to figure out is what's going on here, this stupid room here. So if, as you can tell, this you come out of T spawn, you decide to go up here and you want to go towards B, right? So you come up towards B, see if anyone's pushed out here, and you can make your entrance into B going up there. And that's actually going to be kind of a battle, right? Because going up that spiral staircase is really tough. But what do you do here? I mean, this is kind of awkward space here. I suppose you could use this to throw smokes, smoke off mid, and that, again, I'm really bad with smokes. It just seems kind of useless here. Maybe we could just block this off, section it with like a big statue or whatever, and just basically connect, you know, like here to here or something like that. I'm not really sure yet. I'm not sure what we can do with, and all this empty space here. Again, empty space is not that big of a deal because it's on the exterior, like, you know, thankfully. But this is interior extra space, which kind of bothers me. So. Again, you know, your T, you want to go towards B, you know, you come out here and there's all this empty space here. So I'm not really sure, yeah, what we want to do. If you remove this wall here, that makes it weird because then this Z guy again, or CT guy, can see a little too much, get too much info. And that's just a super long distance fight, which is kind of lame. So, yeah, this is something to think about, like what's going to go on here. Otherwise, I kind of like the flow so far, because if you're, you know, you guys are coordinated and you smoke that off, or, you know, you could even smoke a lot closer, you know, or use two smokes. It's almost like mid-catch, right? You use two smokes, one here and one here, and you can start to make your way up, right? There's probably going to be a guy spotted up there. You scan the skyline thing. Yeah, you have guys clear down here. Yeah, this down here is also kind of annoying, like all this space. We're probably going to have to section off a ton of it, so CT can really, like, reliably, like, post here, like, just play around the pillars. I don't think we need all this crap back there, obviously. And so yeah, the only other change that I want to talk about is this little optional drop down to B tunnels. Like let's say you're committing here, you decide to do a B split. I realize it's really annoying to get people up on that in that B halls thing. It's so annoying to run all the way back. You know, you're looking at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you're already 10, 15 seconds out, you know, just to do that long rotation. So we added this little drop down here. So it cuts that down, you know, unless you're committing to B, that cuts it down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're already up like, you know, a decent amount. So that's the reasoning behind this thing. And I don't know, it's a drop down because drop downs are awesome because they're one way. But I guess I suppose this gives you the option to boost a teammate up. Like let's say there's a guy B, and you're like, you know what, go back mid, you know. Or we can even make a trick jump, like maybe there's a light here. And you gotta, you know, do something funky. I don't know, yet to be determined. I haven't touched A at all, really. Not really. A long is pretty much the same thing. Run knife out, and then around this bend, you're already at the point of battle. You start battling, and that's pretty much it. So again, the tricky part is, you know, what do you do with this extra space in B? If I can figure out what to do here, and we can clean up some of the sight lines here, and you know, make some decent cover and fill this up, I would say I'd be willing to play test it and just see what happens. You know, see what this dynamic is like, where this guy, you know, the 2A guys, how are they going to decide to intelligently rotate to B? You know, if they just constantly go through the vents, or they just, you know, it's just too overpowered. You know, the vent choke point coming up here, is this just too daunting? Like, is this impossible? Like, you know, let's say it turns out that anyone could just poop on you by just doing that, popping back, or you're just waiting here. You know, it can be very daunting. So that remains to be seen. It's possible we might just raise this up to the ceiling so that you have to come up here, or there's only one place to peek, like one headshot spot here, and then the rest of this is blocked off, so unless you boost. Just things like that. Maybe even a way to get into B ton. Whoa, into a way to get into B hall, like you can break in here to go into the first floor here, right? Kind of like another way in from here to here, to let you get into B. Or even opening up another door here, right? Another door here, so that, you know, theoretically, you could smoke this off. Well, whatever. And you can try to hop here, and the mid guy can't really spot for you. You can't spot for the 2 B guys sitting up here. I don't know where the B guys would be. Maybe one here, one posted up here or something. So that's just the idea. I don't know. Well, we'll see.